You open the same app you swore you'd delete. You order the same meal that never actually satisfies you. You text the same person you promised yourself you were done with. Every time you call it a decision. But what's actually happening in your brain is far stranger. It isn't a decision at all. Not really. It's a replay. Your brain is not designed to choose the best option every time. It's designed to choose the familiar one. And familiar to your brain feels a lot like safe, even when it isn't. Think about the last time you picked the option you already knew, deep down, wasn't good for you. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe it was a job you should have left a year ago. Maybe it was something as small as scrolling instead of sleeping. In that moment, did it feel like a choice? Or did it feel like something pulling you back before you even noticed you'd moved? Here's the part that changes everything. Psychologist Leon Festinger discovered something in the 1950s that still explains this today. He called it cognitive dissonance. It's the discomfort you feel when your actions don't match your beliefs about yourself. And your brain hates that discomfort so much it will do almost anything to avoid it, including lying to you. So if you believe you're someone who makes good decisions but you keep making the same bad one, your brain doesn't correct the behavior. It rewrites the story instead. It tells you this time is different. It tells you you're in control. It tells you chose this freely, right now. That's not honesty. That's damage control because the truth is less comfortable. The truth is that most of what feels like choosing is actually repeating. Researcher Wendy Wood spent decades studying habits at Duke University, and one of her clearest findings was this. Nearly half of everything you do in a day isn't a decision at all. It's a habit running quietly in the background, dressed up as a choice. Your conscious mind likes to believe it's the one driving, but often it's just narrating what the habit already decided. That's the strange part. You don't choose the bad option because you evaluated it and picked it. You choose it because your brain built a shortcut a long time ago, and shortcuts don't ask permission. They just fire. Think of it like a path worn into grass. The first time you walk somewhere, it's slow. You're checking your footing. But walk the same path enough times, and the grass dies back, and the ground hardens, and eventually your feet just know where to go without your mind doing any work at all. That's not weakness. That's efficiency. Your brain is trying to save you energy, but it doesn't know the difference between a path that leads somewhere good and a path that leads somewhere that quietly hurts you. So why does it feel like a choice every single time? Because of something economists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky uncovered decades ago in research that reshaped how we understand decision-making. They found that people don't weigh gains and losses evenly. Losses feel almost twice as painful as equivalent gains feel good. This is loss aversion. And it explains something brutal about repeating bad patterns. Leaving the familiar option, even a bad one, feels like a loss. Staying feels like safety, even when staying is what's hurting you. Your brain isn't calculating what's best for your future. It's protecting you from the sharp, immediate sting of the unknown. And unknown, to a brain built for survival, has always meant danger. This is why the same bad option keeps winning. Not because you're weak. Not because you lack discipline. But because your brain is running an ancient program designed for a world where the biggest risk was a predator in the grass, not a relationship that drains you or a habit that keeps you stuck. Here's where it gets even stranger. Every time you repeat the choice and your brain rewrites the story to protect your self-image, the pattern gets stronger, not weaker. You're not just repeating a behavior, you're reinforcing a belief. The belief that this is simply who you are, that this is simply how things go for you. But a belief formed by repetition isn't the same as a truth. It just feels that way because it's the one thing your brain has said to you the most. So what actually breaks the loop? Not willpower. Willpower fades by the end of the day, every single day. What breaks the loop is awareness at the exact moment the old path opens up in front of you. The instant before your feet start moving toward the familiar ground. That's the only moment where the choice is actually still a choice. Wendy Wood's research points to something almost too simple to believe. Changing your environment breaks habits faster than changing your intentions. Remove the phone from the nightstand, and the scrolling habit weakens on its own. Change your route home, and the old detour disappears. You don't out-willpower a habit. You out-design it, and the cognitive dissonance? The gap between who you believe you are and what you keep doing? That gap isn't something to silence. It's information. It's your mind telling you quietly that something doesn't add up. Most people close that gap by lying to themselves. But you can close it the other way. By actually changing the behavior until it matches who you want to be, instead of changing the story until it matches what you keep doing. Think about the moment right before you reach for the same bad option again. The phone. The person. The habit you know isn't serving you anymore. In that half second before the old path pulls you in, there's a flicker of something else. A question. A hesitation. That flicker is the only place change has ever happened for anyone. You are not broken for repeating the same choice. You are running exactly the way a human brain is built to run, protecting you from a threat that, in most cases, no longer exists. But now you know what's actually happening underneath. It was never really a decision, made fresh every time. It was a replay. And now that you can see it, you get to decide whether to keep playing it.